we have like multiple teams where um, the mobile team doesn't really know what the payload looks like. So from the backend team, it looks great. It's a 200, and the data that hits the device, like we've had issues where it will produce like 100 results. And realistically, for the device, you may only want to show 20 results at one point in time. Then it's slow to parse this out. That creates like a very slow experience on the client side, but it's very fast to get that data from the back end. The other part of it is the format of it. Is it in the format that is expected? The the backend can send data and it successfully sends the data, but if it's not in the format that's expected by the device, then that produces an error. So a lot of people sometimes actually have just blank screens because the payload is empty. So it doesn't know what to do. And you get blank screens. And those are some of the hardest things to identify for a lot of mobile teams. They can't quite, they know something is wrong. And the typical workflow is they get these complaints from users or support tickets. And then the backend says it's not our problem, it's fine. And it looks kind of okay. And then the mobile team has to dig into it. And how would you know to dig into it? And what points to identify if you don't have like the full picture of like what it looks like on the device. And I think the important thing is like for those people to all have one source that they look at to determine what the truth is and like how they are perceiving it, right? Like you can have a product person that builds a funnel in Amplitude, but you are only going from point A to point B. You have a DevOps person that is looking at some of these metrics, but it's only one piece or one component of it, right? And then you have tickets about people's actual end user experience, right? And so you're trying to cobble all of these pieces together to determine what's actually happening in the mobile app and the user experience when you should be doing that with the mobile data. Like you should be looking at the mobile data, what the like what is actually happening on the device and measuring it from there. And then that should inform all of the other parts of your organization. Um, I think people haven't had it from the mobile side. And so they've taken it from like other proxies, right? That's why product built some of these funnels because you couldn't get the data from like the mobile device or it wasn't that great to begin with. And so there's the disconnect because like on a product funnel, you can say there's a drop and then there's nothing on the mobile side to point to what is happening. So there's an extreme disconnect. And so you almost want the data to power these funnels to be the same data that the engineers look at so that they can solve it. And so I think one of the things I wish people would do is that they would kind of come together and pick one data source as their source of truth and that it comes actually from the mobile device itself rather than uh, relying on the back end to tell you like what the health of the mobile device is.
Cool. All right, let me bug you with